Have you ever felt thankful that one of your friends gave you a heads up about something? Even if it may have been a little awkward for you and maybe even them. Something like, hey, you've got something stuck in your teeth. Or, hey, your fly is down. Or, hey, you've got ketchup on your forehead. We've all had moments in our life like that, right? Yet we're thankful when someone points it out to us, so that we don't maybe look embarrassed or feel dumb. But now let's think about it from the other side for a second. Have you ever felt like you should say something to someone, but you weren't exactly sure about how to say it? I mean, telling your friend they have food stuck in their teeth is one thing, but we all know there are bigger things as well. Things like talking to a friend about a relationship that they're in and you don't think is good for them. Or confronting someone about decisions they're making lately that aren't so great. Or maybe speaking up about something that you know is going to get them in trouble. Now, it's a little difficult to speak up sometimes, isn't it? So more often than not, we typically just don't say anything at all. Why do we do that? Maybe it's because we don't want to ruin a friendship or make someone mad at us or make things weird. Maybe we're doing or have done some of the same things in the past and we don't feel like we have the right to say anything. Or maybe we don't think that the other person will listen and hear us out. Or just maybe simply we don't know what to say or how to say it. I think we all know what it feels like when we know we need to say something, yet find ourselves unsure of what to say or how to say it. What if we could learn a way to approach difficult conversations? What if there is a way to have difficult conversations that end up bringing something good about? Week 1 of the series, we talked about how the goal is to love. Now, if love is the goal, how are we supposed to handle it when we know people are being bad or just dumb? The Apostle Paul talked about this very thing to a church in Galatia, which is known today as modern-day Turkey. And in the book of Galatians chapter 6, verse 1, Paul says this, "Dear brothers and sisters, if another believer is overcome by some sin, you who are godly should gently and humbly help that person back onto the right path. And be careful not to fall into that temptation yourself." He's saying you and I should go further than just saying something in conversation. We should help someone get back to the best place they can be. That is on track with what God says is best. There's also a lot Paul is not saying here as well. He isn't saying you are personally responsible for making sure your friends make wise choices. And he isn't saying you should put yourself in a position that sets you up for failure when you're trying to help out your friends. The point that Paul is saying is with humility and gentleness, you and I can help people who are struggling get back on the right path. Paul continues in verse 2, he says, share each other's burdens, and in this way, obey the law of Christ. How do we help get people back on track? By carrying each other's burdens. Walk beside each other. Be there for one another. Paul wrote this letter to the church in Galatia because he knew the most loving thing to do isn't always the easiest thing to do. He's saying we owe it to each other to speak up. The truth is, we need each other. We don't just need to point fingers, but more importantly, we share burdens. Being kind, helpful, and encouraging shows people that we want to help them out of love. Ask yourself, am I showing love in how I'm treating people? What is this supposed to look like? How can you put into practice what we're talking about today? If you're going to choose to be known for your love for others, when it comes to what you say, you have to let love be the filter that you think through. Now, you know how filters work. When you choose a filter on Snapchat or Instagram, it changes the way you see the image. The same is the way for choosing love as your filter. No matter where you look, no matter who is in your camera, you see them differently. When we let love be the filter we use, we share the burdens of those we love. Now imagine how friendships, families, schools, like whenever you go back to school, would be different if people would filter their words and actions through love. We would keep each other from regrets, mistakes, heartbreak, even negative consequences. Who knows? A filter of love might even change the direction of someone's life for the better. Let's be people that love.